special get together. Hi to you and your fur babies. And I can't really believe, I don't know about you, Jan, but we are only a few days away from the biggest 10-year anniversary celebration. So exciting, so amazing. There's so many people who are already in US coming from abroad. So many people who are like packed up or about to pack up. Are you excited, Jen? I know that you got
I am excited. I am excited. I can't believe it. We are finally here. And yes, people are packing up, and that's what we're doing. This is the Paws in the City prep episode. So come on in, everyone. Thank you very much for hitting that share button in the bottom left-hand corner. This is our last, we're T-minus what, 4 days? So this is the last episode before the big weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a big deal. I know a lot of people have been messaging you and me and saying we are on our way, we arrived.
Yes.
Very, very excited. So that was a little more about our special guest. I was very excited that, as always, you came up with really a great layout.
Absolutely. So we have, thank you. We have two incredible guests. We have two really great guests who are going to show us from their individual and very different perspectives and vantage points how they are prepping for Paws in the City. So first we have a returning model, Miss Ella Belafonte. She's an alumna, if you will, from the rescue group that is a part of Paws in the City. So it couldn't be more. I couldn't have planned it. I couldn't have written the script any better if I wanted to. So we have Ella and Sarah, very exciting. And then we have long time, I was thinking about it, and I think that Julie Lancaster has been with Paws in the City for 8 years, at least since 2015, 16. So that's how I'm coming to 8. Yes, Julie is an incredible artist. I know she gets tired of me calling her an onion, but I feel like she's this incredible onion because I say it every show, because every show, and this show is no different, she's peeling off another layer and showing us another aspect of her design world and taking a peek in. And for those that know Julie's work, she's very influenced by global influences, by different periods. We all know that she does period work very beautifully, but she also incorporates other cultures into her work. And so it's very exciting that not only is she vending, so you can take a little piece of Julie home with you, but she's also debuting her India collection on the runway this week. So it's I'm very excited. We have two goodies with us. So it's very, very exciting. So we will start with, what we'll do is we'll start in the front of the runway and we'll work our way to the back. So we will start with our models, and then of course we will have to end with our incredible designer, Julie Lancaster. So Team Ella Belafonte, are you ready? Please share a little bit of how you're prepping. I see a rack behind you. Please unmute yourself and give us the scoop on how do you make it happen? How is the sausage made?
Hello, Sarah and Ella here. So, well, basically, this year is not as simple for me as last year. I started a new position and I travel during the week. So I am in different cities, different states. So I've been kind of like a weekend warrior with everything. I haven't been the best at getting my pictures out, but I did get them all out. So basically I've had to keep myself really organized because we are doing this all on the weekends. Well, my son also plays hockey on the weekends, so we've had fun time. Basically, I have organized everything into labeled by designer so that I know what everything is. Everything's in its own compartment. All of our matching bows are over here. This will go with me. I'll break it down. I'll put it into the car. We actually, because we're driving and I drive a sedan, so we actually had to rent a car because all her stuff will never fit in my car. We will be going with her suitcase.
Oh,
my
very
gosh,
She has to have her own
fancy. Look
suitcase.
at this. Wow.
So, and then we have her weekend bag
Oh,
because we do
wow.
stop
Wow.
halfway. So we come all the way from Florida. So we'll drive about halfway Thursday night. I'll head up halfway. We'll arrive on Friday because unfortunately I can't come earlier and have to
That's
drive
okay.
back. Ella is a very avid traveler. She loves to fly, but to bring all this stuff on a plane would be a little bit pricey. We always bring her vest.
Wonderful. Yes, yes,
Thank
yes.
you to the Sisters of the Traveling Vest because that's how we got her.
Yes,
This shows all the different places that Ella has been. So she
that's
travels. I mean,
wonderful.
she's a
She's got
traveler.
lots of stamps in her passport. I love it.
She
I love
sure
it. I
does.
love
She
it.
sure does. So she gets excited. She knows when I open these bags to do the pictures, she goes running and she jumps up on the bench. She knows it's time to do pictures. She doesn't like the bows so much, but she loves the dresses. She loves the attention. So we'll see how she does this year.
This is
That is
amazing.
excellent. That is excellent. Have you always been this organized, Sarah, or did you get this organized?
Well, last year was my first year, so I learned a lot. I learned you bring the rack. I learned the best way to package things and be able to keep more organized. I think last year I kept it all in like a book, so I knew where everything went, and then I put everything in order. But this year is even more organized. I even got a bigger stroller for her so that she's more comfortable behind the scenes, and she has somewhere to hang out and kind of decompress because it's a lot for them too. So we don't do the hotel. We don't stay in the hotel strictly because Ella is very active. She is part Jack Russell, so she needs to run. She needs to explore. So we rent a house that has a
Nice.
fenced-in backyard so that she can go out, she can run around, we'll throw her ball, and she'll have time to decompress as well.
That's wonderful. Look at that. I love it. I love it. I love it. So you said last year you kept a log of,
Yes.
is that what you did? Okay, but you
Yep.
moved from the log to the garment bags.
Yes, which I think is going to be a lot easier to just move everything. Things hopefully won't get wrinkled. And it be easier. I can put them in order of what she's going. My mom comes with me, so she'll hand me stuff and I'll throw stuff back off to her so she can put it away. But I think this will be the easiest way just to know exactly what everything goes in order. And I got that this idea from Stephanie. Stephanie gave me the idea when I saw her put up her garment rack. I went, oh, I need one of those.
That's
Love
amazing.
it. Love it. Excellent.
And I want to bring the point where you said, okay, so I'm going to rent a house. So for those of our friends who are new to Post in the City, so I just want to remind them that typically all the hotels around the venue are available. You have practically at least 3 hotels so you can stay. But then I think this is a great point that if there are pet parents who are concerned about their fur babies who needs to run and have more energy, I mean, they can always team up, reach out to other pet parents. I think that this is really, that's kind of my first time hearing for this on the show, considering we have been doing over a year and a half, probably nowadays. And I really like the idea. And I like the idea how organized you are. And I think that this is really valuable for people to be able to start, kind of organize everything and just be ready. Don't wait, friends, to go to the show and get everything in order the last minute, just try to be prepared.
Because once it starts, and it is. I mean, bows are flying, dresses are flying.
Yes.
Exactly. I love that. I love that. Would you say that it's fast paced behind the scenes, Sarah, or not so much?
No, it is. It absolutely is. And especially if you have more than one design from a designer.
Yes.
And, and it's for being the first time for us last time, it's not, there's not someone back there saying, you go, you go, you go. We all get in line. We're like, who has 1, who has 2, who has 3? You go first, and then me, and then I'll go in the back. And then we'll get them, if someone has 3 designs, we'll push them back up to the front again. And we kind of, you're hosting, so we know where we're going. But back there, it's just kind of like, all of a sudden you'll feel someone grab your waist and they're pushing you up ahead a couple. and it's just everything flows really well. You know, the people who've been there for a while, they welcomed me with open arms, and they just said, okay, let's do this. And it was fast paced, but it was a good time. By the end, Ella is completely wiped out. So am I, but she's completely wiped out. But it's good, and it's this year holds a special place in my heart because, you know, I don't know if not everyone knows my background, but Ella was my she was my Band-Aid, my Chinese crested of 14 and a half years, that he was my first man love. You know, I loved that little boy with all my heart, and he passed away, and I knew I needed someone else to give that love to, and that's where I got her from. So my husband's not 100% on board yet, but I'm ready to start looking for a boy Chinese crested here in the future. So I'll be going back again to tender loving cresteds for that, because it was such a great experience.
Oh, wonderful. That is good to hear. That is good to hear. We like to hear that.
Very exciting, very exciting. Wow. So maybe next time you're going to have two.
Exactly. You might have
on the runways.
two.
Watch out, friends. Watch out.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
That is very funny.
It is for sure. And I just want to kind of ask you, Sarah, for people who might be their first time and might have some worries or concerns, even if you already gave some great value tips, but what else would you like to tell these people so they are prepared? I don't know, even if you want, I mean, there is always some food, you know, you make sure you have comfortable shoes. I don't know. What would you tell people, as crazy as it sounds?
I think don't wear heels. I wore heels for the first one we went out, and I never wore heels again. But also make sure that your dog has somewhere that's really comfortable for them, because you know, we had a stroller, and most everybody has a stroller, but they need their own space where they can calm down, because it's a lot for them. You know, in the beginning, Ella was pretty afraid of the microphone. She didn't know what was going on. So when I had like a couple sets where I wasn't taking her out, I would put her in her stroller, I would zip it up, and then I would cover it. And then she could just have some time to be by herself. And I think that's the biggest thing is giving them the quiet time they need. And you know, we took a couple walks and things like that. And she loves other dogs, but sometimes she just doesn't want to be bothered. She needs her alone time too. So just making sure that they get the time that they need as well, and bring snacks, because you will get hungry, and there's not, you know, you're busy. You're busy from when you start until when it's over.
Those are great suggestion, recommendation. And actually you brought a great point about find a comfortable place for your fur baby. And I think that a lot of times, friends, maybe if you don't have a stroller yet, maybe bring your fur baby's favorite blanket or their bed, you know, have it around. It's kind of, you know, create their Zen area where it's only them. And just, you know, maybe I think that sometimes it's helpful if your fur baby starts getting a little kind of tired, or you know, they are humans, so they have their moments. Maybe it's a good thing to say, you know, just maybe keep talking to them, you know, to kind of, so they can, by hearing your voice, they're calming down, and you kind of ignore the rest of the things happening around them. So all of those, they are great recommendations. Thank you so much, Sarah. Jen, do you have any other questions?
It is excellent, excellent. Sarah hit it on the head. We have folks watching. Hey, Amy Cox is watching from Dallas. I think Jackie and Team Camilla Rose is also in Florida, more Florida people.
They are. They're in Orlando.
Hey. Absolutely good tips. I love it. I love the snacks is always good, as you know, as one from one foodie here. I love the snacks and love the idea of kind of making a nice space for your fur baby. Absolutely, absolutely true. Definitely. I love that. Thank you very much, Team Ella Belafonte, for giving us some tips, and we'll have to do a decompress afterwards and see how it went, see what Ella thought of her return, her triumphant return to the catwalk, and see what her thoughts are. So this was wonderful.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We cannot wait to see you on the runway.
Thank you. So now we're gonna move. So we got the model perspective, we got the opinion of the models and some tips and tricks, and now we are really fortunate. Julie Lancaster of Off the Cuff Stuff for Pets. She keeps a very, very, very busy schedule. For those that don't know, she does monthly, in addition to her special orders, in addition to her regular customers, she does monthly auctions that also have a rescue component. These are what I was mentioning before. These are a few of her culturally influenced pieces from her India collection. We love that Julie also represents for the boys and the girls. And like I said, Julie is going to have a vendor table. And so what you're seeing are some little snippets that she just threw together during her 24-hour work day. And you can see some of these gorgeous pieces that she will have at her table. So you can take a piece of Julie. You're going to get Julie on the runway and off the runway. So it's very, very exciting. Yes, that's beautiful. The India collection is what we are going to get this week on the runway. And I'll stop talking, Julie, because I know you have been busy, but you always make time for us. So thank you, thank you,
Well,
thank you.
you. Hello,
And
everybody.
maybe, do you want to talk, what made you, how'd you come up? You always come up with these really wonderful and innovative, whether it's your shabby chic, whether it's your hand painted harnesses that you did one year, anything that gravitated you in particular to India this year?
Actually, it's scouting for fabric got me. I started looking at the different cultural fabrics, and when I saw this fabric from India, and I actually ordered it from India. When it came in, I was blown away, but just looking at it, my heart just stopped. You know, I'm obviously I have an addiction to fabric. I think most designers do, because we love color and texture, and this had the most wonderful texture. But I looked at it, and you know, I think I'm quite eclectic in a lot of ways with my designs. I'm very detailed, and this was just right up my alley. And I obviously love boho, who doesn't? And I love steampunk, and I love all those cool things that you can build on. But when I saw the fabric, I just fell in love with it. And it's a funny thing, you know, Jennifer, I'm probably your designer that turns in her stuff last. I'm sure I am. But, you know, I have to stress this to people. As a designer, when somebody asks me to design something, it's not that I'm put you off. It is that I have to think about it. I have to dream about it. I have to put thought process into it. It's kind of hard to explain, but I have to know where I'm going to go with it. And it's not just you can order something and yeah, I can look at a couple of pieces I've made in the past and I can combine them, yeah, and that's not a big deal. But when you're doing something entirely different, an entirely new line, it's such a thought process. And this literally took me months to think about. And once I had it, I was like, oh, this is it. And I have had so much fun with this fabric. That culture is amazing. I am telling you, it's not only is their food wonderful, but their fabrics are fabulous, and you can do so much with it. But yes, every year I try to come up with a different scene and a different theme. You know, I introduced the patchwork shabbies. I've obviously, a lot of you know that I was a muralist, so I can paint. And so one year I did painting all the puppies that I was modeling for me. And it's just, I think one year we did fairy tales, and everybody knows I started with slings. So one year I did slings, matching harnesses, you know, that kind of thing. But sometimes you get those just, oh, you just die when you find the most perfect fabric. And like you've seen, I brought some pieces here. You can see.
Oh,
that,
wonderful.
oh
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
I don't know if you can see them.
Absolutely.
Yes, we do, yeah.
Absolutely.
I've
Look at how
taken,
gorgeous.
these are similar to the patchwork shabbies, which here's a patchwork shabby. And when I say patchwork shabby, it's all patched work together, all squares put together. And then I embellish them. Well, the Indian fabric was already put together and already embellished, but I'm a obsessive person when it comes to things. Well, how can I make this better? So I just built on it and built on it. And there are stones, there's so many little things all over it. And they're just beautiful little pieces. I try to find something that nobody else has, obviously, or is doing. Because after doing this for 13 years, you're still digging. But I don't know, but I apologize always for being the last person in, but you also know what I generally do as a designer, and everybody else has their own thing. I like another reason I like to pull back, and this already, is I want to know who has the least amount of stuff, because that's the
Yeah.
person that I want to work with, because I want to get them out there and realize that it doesn't matter if you don't have a lot, you're gonna get something good. I hope people feel that way about my work. So I just feel like it's
Absolutely.
only fair to try to really go out on a limb for the people who have a little bit less than others, even though they all get a whole lot, it's just, and that's how I usually run. So
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're excited to have you vending as well. For everyone who knows, Julie will be there for all 3 days,
yep,
vending Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So she's gonna have some really wonderful.
I have
as
a
well.
table full. I have been busting my buns. And when I say busting my buns, I'm working till 5 o'clock in the morning every night.
Nice.
So, and because after this, I roll into my auction the following week. So it never stops. It
It's
never
going to be
stops.
interesting for you, my friend.
That's
Everyone loves Julie.
incredible.
You
It
got to
is-
really love what you're doing to work my
Yes.
hours.
Yes.
But it's bigger than just that, though, because it's also your shows, and you know how I am. I'm a strong advocate for rescue,
You
and
are.
that is a huge for me. And I've told many people, I won't do a show unless you sponsor a rescue.
Yes,
You
yes.
have to.
Julie, for those that don't know, every month Julie's auction benefits a different rescue, and she incorporates that philanthropic portion into it. So a different rescue gets a check
Yep.
from every single one of her auctions every month. So that's
Yeah.
really a wonderful, wonderful thing. So she's
It's-
helping
it's-
as well.
Yeah, but it's a fun world, and I'm looking so forward to the show. I'm going to believe meeting a couple of people that have been my clients in the past I've never met,
Oh,
and they're going to
Oh,
be there.
wow.
So that's always fun.
oh,
Yeah, yeah. And I'm looking forward to it. I always do. Um, it's a great camaraderie.
that
Yes.
is
Absolutely.
wonderful. That's wonderful to hear. And Julie also has designed and donated an incredible live auction. We're going to do our first live online and in-person auction on Sunday at 3 o'clock. Very exciting. And Julie has created a gorgeous,
Hand-painted.
gorgeous,
I was
hand-painted,
second.
crystal, bling, 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 and absolutely
I
gorgeous.
do. And I really like the design of this dress. A lot of people are looking at it. They see the hand painting on the skirt and it's all beautiful. But, and that is obviously your focal point. Because
Yes,
all
it is.
dresses must have a focal point. This one's almost a little bit even all over, because if you look close at the top, you've got the ruching at the top, all the gathering at the top. It's called ruching, and then you've got the overlaid skirt, the lined beautiful bow, you've the hand painted butterflies, and then the neckline. Of course, I can't make anything without crystals on it. So the neckline is encased all the way around with crystals. There's probably 700, 800 crystals on this dress. And then
Wow.
you've got your silk butterflies all over it, along with the embroidered butterfly. This is a gorgeous piece, people. I'm telling you, and it is as clean inside as it is outside. This is a dress that if you're going, you could wear in competition, okay? Because
There you
those
go.
judges look under as well as on top. And everything, all the layers are lined, all the required layers are lined. So, and top stitched. So it's a really nice piece. And I really hope it raises some good money for you guys, because that
Thank
makes me
you.
feel really, really good.
It's a
And
beautiful piece.
you know what, I tell you, it's so therapeutic for me to be able to pull out a paintbrush every once in a while. I love to paint, and I don't get to do it as much as I want to these days. But I will tell you, I am leaning towards that on my next venture.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So there
I
you
think I'm going to
go.
push more to hand painted things. So, and
Okay.
I've got some things planned that are kind of exciting, but right now the India pieces are just, and I will have at least 15 of those pieces on my vendor table.
Wow, that's
So,
quite a bit, Julie. This is a lot, and I hope people will appreciate how
oh, I'm
wonky
sure they do. I'm
it's
sure they do. You
amazing.
know,
Like,
yeah, but and I just gave you a bunch of photos of other
yes.
pieces, simple little dresses like this one that's on right now with it with all the little layers and stuff. But I mean, it's not what I would call a detailed dress. It's just really cute. And then you have you get the patchwork shabbies and all the what goes on with this. It's a patchwork shabby. You see all the little patchworks. All those were put on one at a time. Yes, sir, sewn together and then
Wow.
embellished. And I mean, the cool thing about the patchwork shabbies, this is the coolest thing. First of all, obviously, nothing is ever the same piece. I do not make duplicates. It's the same thing with the India pieces. You will never find one identical, ever. And it's the same thing with patchwork shabby. But patchwork shabbies, they're so cool because they can represent anything from holidays to sports to diva to ballerinas, springtime, whatever. They can be anything. And I cannot tell you how many I have sold, and not one of them have ever been the same. Have ever been the same. And that's what excites me about the India pieces. But what's even more exciting about these India pieces is this is for a boy or a girl. That is
There you
something I
go.
like to make
Yes.
sure I do.
You're
You are
right
not
about
stuck,
this. Yeah.
right? It does not matter if a male or female wears it. And that's one of the things that is important to me in design, is try to design where both sexes can wear it. Because believe me, honey, I hear all the time, nobody ever sews for my boy. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a page on Facebook. Yes, they do. But speaking of boys, I have to introduce one of my little boy. Now,
Oh.
my little boy, nobody ever sees my dogs. Okay. He's very old. He's almost 17. This is
Wow.
Sir Nigel Loves a Lot.
Oh, did you
Oh,
say Sir Nigel loves a lot?
Yes.
Oh,
Sir Nigel Loves a Lot. Nigel's a Mickey. And he was one of my studs for many, many years. And I consider myself a failure breeder, because when I stopped breeding my dogs, usually people stop at 5 years old and then they, find a home for them. No, I can't do that. They're my
of
family.
course, they
So
stay with you.
they're my family. And this guy, now he's missing an eye because he had to have eye surgery a couple of years ago, but he's doing really good. But he's all gray now. I could show you pictures of him as a puppy. You would just die. He was so adorable. And he still is, because he's only 4 pounds, but he's in pretty good health.
And
He's
he is
really-
16.
He's
Wow.
almost 17. He's almost 17.
Oh,
So-
is his birthday coming up? Is a birthday
In a couple
party?
of months. In a couple
Oh,
of months.
wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay,
My
so
baby
maybe for
boy.
the November show, we might have to have a celebration.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he's the sweetest little guy in the world. But I
Oh,
figured out, nobody ever sees my dog, so I'm bringing
Yes.
Sir Nigel Loves a Lot.
Nigel.
You're very lucky, Jen, right? Lucky us. and
Yeah,
lucky
I know.
our
Look,
followers.
he's right there in the house of couture. He's got the inside track.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. People ask me all the time, do you dress your dogs? I actually don't have time.
Uh-huh. Like the people who fix shoes, right? They don't have
I don't have
Or
time.
taking pictures, take pictures of their family members. Oh my gosh.
But Sarah said an interesting thing. I was listening to her, and she was talking about how her little dog gets excited when she opens the bag all the time. And I think I've told people this before, because I know that sometimes people who dress their dogs get a bad rap. They say, "Oh, that's cruel." Well, that's baloney. It is never cruel. Anybody who's going to take the time and all that to do that with their dogs loves their dogs very much. And let me tell you, dogs work with association. Oh, they always do. And I have people call me and say, oh, they know the box came. And I said, usually it's because it's probably the scent because of my dogs. But they go, oh, they're jumping in circles. They're so happy and they can't wait to get their dresses on. That is so true. Because when you dress a dog and you take it out, it's going bye-bye. It associates itself with something good. All right. And so I don't want to ever hear people say that, because I just have to turn around and go, are you kidding me? The people that I work with adore their dogs. Those dogs could not have a better life. And the dogs love it. Let me tell you, I've done runway for years and I see those guys prancing down that runway. They love it.
Yes, yes,
Oh.
Jackie agrees with you. Jackie Frame agrees with you. That's Team Camilla Rose. Absolutely true. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
You're preaching to the choir. Absolutely true.
And you see it, you see it in the pictures, you
Yeah.
see it in the videos, you see it on the runway.
Yeah.
I thank you so much for mentioning it, because I do agree with you. There are some people who feel this way, but they have to see the cute face and the smiles of, the doggies or the kitties who are getting dressed. I mean, like, very
Oh, they're
special.
so happy. They're so happy, and I'm not tooting my horn on that one because there are a lot of wonderful designers out there, but I'm telling you, the designers know. They know.
Yes.
They know that the dogs love this, and their mothers know, or their fathers, whatever,
Exactly.
But yeah, it's also an amazing way to promote rescue as well, because I don't know what it is about a dog that's dressed up, but it melts your heart, and people are like, oh,
Yes, absolutely. You're so right, Julie. And like, we love you, Julie. We are your
Well,
fans.
thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
looking
you. Thank
very
you.
forward to next weekend because
Yes.
believe it or not, even though I'll be vending the table all weekend and all the goodies that come along with it, and it is obviously work, it's getting me away from my machine. By the way, I killed a machine today. So
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
thank gosh I have a backup. But it's
Uh-oh.
just before this happened a little while ago, that's what happens when you're sewing beaded things. You
yes.
try
I
very
hear that
hard.
a lot from designers, that beaded garments and sequins are like Satan. Yes.
They are, but usually when and a lot of people don't realize this, but when you're sewing beaded things, the seam where you're sewing, that whole section, you have to take all those beads off before you can sew it. And I
Oh,
missed a bead. I missed a bead and I hit it.
Oh.
And my machine's not happy with me. But yeah, you take all that beading off and then it shows a lot smoother. It's not fun, and beaded things, and that's one of the reasons why they're more expensive, is because not only they wear and tear on your machine, it's a lot of work to sew them. So
of course, of
but
course.
yeah,
Create it,
but
you create, you sew, it's like a piece of art. I mean,
Right.
it's so many components, and I'm so grateful that our followers can really like appreciate in detail. It's not just you seeing a dress. I mean, it took you, sometimes takes days to come up with a piece, and then
Mhm.
days to really make it from piece of fabrics and in crystals and stuff into a reality. I mean,
Well, I think a lot of people realize what goes into it, but the average person does not realize what goes into a simple dress. Okay. We're talking fabric, you got to shop for it. You're talking lining, you're talking interfacing, you're talking putting it together. You have to design it. You're talking trims, you're talking laces, you're talking crystalline, you're talking all this stuff. Before you know it, you put 10 hours into a piece and you're asking $85 for it, and people give you a look like that's too much money. Well, goodbye, because you're not making a ton of money.
Right. Right.
You're just doing the best job you can, and there's a lot that goes on with it. So
That's right. Oh, Dee Dee says 100% correct, removing the beading. So yes,
Yes.
everyone seems to, I guess that's the best kept or the worst kept secret. Everyone knows
Yeah.
that. Absolutely.
Yeah, so Vasi and I have to get back together. I'm coming up with some other ideas to do
Yes.
a tricks of the trade thing,
There you go. Yes.
Stay tuned, friends. That's what it is. First post, in the city, and then you have your auction, and then eventually we'll be.
I should have some downtime this summer. I'm hoping and praying, because this has been every year it just gets worse. I won't say worse, bigger and bigger and bigger. But I was supposed to clean my studios up Christmas time, when I was supposed to take time off, and I didn't take time off, and now I can't walk through my studios. So you think this is crazy, the rest of it. But yeah, and I just think that's part of the trade. So
Yeah, it
yeah.
is. So it is. Well,
I-
Jimmy,
well, let me let you guys go. It was so good speaking
It
with
was
you both,
wonderful to
and
see
enjoyed it.
you. Thank
We'll see
you,
you
Tim
next
Ella
week.
Belafonte. Thank you, Julie. We will see you all in what, three nights, 4 days,
Yep.
3
Counting
nights.
down.
Yes,
Countdown,
Countdown is down for
Pause in the
sure.
City this weekend, Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Yes, thank you very much, everyone. It's going to be amazing show. See you soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.